All right. I wanted to show you here real quick a little bit about the Mars lander, the Perseverance landing mission. So here's a cool website I found. This is kind of like Google Earth or something like that. This is called Mars Trek. This is put out by NASA, I believe. And what you can do here, you can do some pretty cool stuff on this. For instance, you can kind of get in here and start calculating distances and looking at elevations. So for example, if you wanted to see like I don't know how far it is from this point to this point or something like that across this kind of this scar, this canyon going across here. You can kind of get a little update there. It's about 3,000 kilometers long from that line. So this is a pretty cool website. You can do some neat stuff. So let me get rid of that. I'll remove that marker. But what I wanted to show you was the recent landing that Mars did with the Perseverance lander. So it's kind of landing in this section here. So I'm going to start zooming in a little bit, and let's see if I can kind of zoom in enough here. And you see these craters starting to form right here, and you see all kinds of craters, but I believe it's this one right here where Perseverance is going to land. So I'm going to try to carefully zoom in a little bit here. Let's see if we can start getting some identifiers. So this is called Jezero Crater, and as you can see here, if you start looking, this used to have water in this crater here, and we have evidence of that because if you look right here, there's kind of a snaking system that looks like a former river, and it opens up and it goes into this delta here into the crater. So that's like a delta, and we know on Earth, whenever you have a delta like that, it's nutrient rich and dense, and there's oftentimes good signs of life in those areas. Sorry, I zoomed in a little bit close there. So that's kind of a cool area there that they want to explore. So what I want to show you here is how NASA starts looking at the lander. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in even closer here. If I can try to pinpoint this. That might be a little too close there. We'll see if it resolves. Okay. I'm going to zoom out just a touch. See if we can get this pretty accurate here. Kind of an accurate picture going on here. Okay. So this is about where I want to show you. So when you watch the video here in a minute, you're going to start seeing some of these features on the surface of Mars. So for instance, kind of along the western side here, we have these cliff edges. So we can see the cliff and kind of where this crater used to be, where water was held inside of this basin. And we can see two craters in particular, one right here and another one right here. And then here's the feature I kind of like to look at. I'm going to call this like an Xbox controller. And if I were to just kind of like highlight around here, this to me looks a little bit like a PlayStation or Xbox controller, if you kind of can imagine a controller there. But the part I wanted to focus on is this little U under here. So again, we have this cliff wall, we have this crater and we kind of have this like U shape right here. So NASA somewhere in this area has pinpointed like a bullseye, if you will, to land somewhere right around here. And I think if I go to data, I think I can actually pop this up. So let's see, this is the Perseverance landing site. And I'm going to add this to the map. So if I click add, let's see what that pulls up for us. And I'm going to have to zoom in again here. But as you can see, here's our crater. Let me kind of try to zoom in again and see if we can get a pretty good shot of that landing site there. So now they've highlighted or put a circle around, and you can see, again, the cliff walls, the crater impacts, and I'll just keep calling it the Xbox controller right here, this Xbox. And you can see that if you were to think of this as like the bullseye right there, it's right under kind of this U shape here, kind of southwest of this meteor, this crater a little bit. So let me toggle it over to the video and keep these landmarks in mind, and let's watch to see how NASA did here. So I'll just play this video here real quick. Let me get that zoomed in. We'll see if we can play this and kind of watch what happens here.
Speeds and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity
I'm going to
is
zoom ahead just a little bit Because this thing takes a while, it kind of falls.
Nav filter converge. Velocity solution 3.3 meters per second. Altitude 7.4 kilometers.
Now has radar.
Okay, maybe if you see it there, we're starting to see that kind of that U shape. And this is tilted a little bit, but we see that cliff edge, and this would be the western side. We start to see that little bit of an Xbox controller look right around here. And here's crater 1 and crater 2, and again, the target is somewhere right around this area here. So let's keep playing it and see.
Lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second. 6.6 kilometers.
So again, cliff edge, crater, Xbox controller looking thing.
Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute.
It's on a parachute right now, and you'll see a flash kind of when it
terrain
releases from the
navigation
parachute.
And subsequently, the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
We'll just let this play out.
OVS valid.
We have confirmation that
Again, target is somewhere around here.
Valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation.
Priming. TBA is nominal.
We have priming of the landing engines.
And there, now it's released from the
Current
parachute.
velocity is 83 meters
It's now
per
in
second,
powered
about
flight.
2.6
You see the
kilometers
cliff
from
edge
the
pretty
center
good there.
of Mars.
It's going to kind of
That shell has separated.
control itself to move
We are
over the
currently
area.
performing the divert maneuver.
So it's correcting
Current velocity is
itself.
about 75 meters per second at an altitude
It's going to land right around here somewhere.
off the surface of Mars.
And now it's going to overcorrect just a little bit and kind of come
We have
back
completed our terrain
to this
relative
side, and we'll watch
navigation.
the thing land.
Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars. We have started our constant velocity
There's the
accordion,
dust
which
of the
means we
surface
are
kicking up.
conducting the sky crane.
Do the sky crane to lower it,
About to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
drops it down.
Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
And you can rewatch this in full length and try to watch again and see if you can catch some more
Tango Delta.
Tango Delta.
Confirmed.
Touchdown.
Safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the
Okay,
sands
so
of
let me go back here real
Saturn.
quick again, and you can see one more time when that thing was falling. Again, a really good shot of this crater right here. It was like directly overhead of this crater, and it fell, and it kind of came over here, and then powered motored flight back over here, and then it recorrected itself, and it landed very, very close to that bullseye right there. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.